Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 32-year-old Pennsylvania resident Craig Bingert headed to the Capitol after Trump's speech on January 6th. He was seen on the Capitol grounds recording the police. He was chanting, "Let us in." He also filmed another member of the mob who was spraying the police with a fire extinguisher, and Bingert was cheering him on. He then made his way to the front of the police line, and along with some of his co-defendants, he started to push the police barricades into the officers. At one point, Bingert and the others lifted the barricades. They tried to get underneath them, and they were pushing them forward as they were doing this, pushing them toward the officers and up. And like I said, they tried to duck underneath. Well, in the process, they struck one officer. It hit him in the legs pretty hard, and it caused him to stumble backwards. He fell to the ground. Another officer testified at Bingert's trial, and he told the jury that this assault was so aggressive because everybody was taking part in it at once. He said, quote, "It was frightening. I thought we were going to die." So according to the prosecutor, Bingert remained in the same area for about an hour and a half, and he was watching as another man nearby punched an officer in the head. He also was watching as the mob was taking advantage of that interaction, that melee. So they pulled the barricades away from the police at that point. And then he moved to an upper area. He moved to an area above the lower West Terrace tunnel. And he was up there watching as the mob was pulling Officer Fanone into the crowd. And he was just sitting up there watching as they repeatedly assaulted him. So Bingert remained on the Capitol grounds until after 5 p.m. that evening. He was physically removed by the police. That's the only way they could get him to leave. And Bingert was arrested on January 18th of 2021. And in a superseding indictment, he was charged with obstructing an official proceeding, assaulting officers, civil disorder, entering restricted grounds, disorderly conduct on restricted grounds, impeding passage on Capitol grounds, and 2 counts of physical violence. Bingert refused a plea deal. He opted for a bench trial, and in May of 2023, the judge convicted Bingert on all counts with the exception of impeding passage, which the government apparently voluntarily dropped that charge. So based on the felony obstruction conviction, Bingert faced up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. And the prosecutor requested a tough sentence in this case. They asked for 135 months in prison, so just over 11 years, plus 3 years of probation, $2,000 in restitution, and $1,865 in fines. So that represents the amount of money that he's raised on Give, Send, Go. U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth presided over this case, and at the sentencing hearing, he said, quote, "The defendants have a right to believe whatever they like about the 2020 presidential election and to voice those opinions. But the First Amendment does not give anyone a right to obstruct or impede Congress by making it impossible for them to do their jobs safely. And it certainly does not give anyone a right to riot, assault police officers, or enter restricted areas." So in the end, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison, 3 years of probation, $2,000 in restitution, and a $2,000 fine. I was pretty shocked by this sentence. It is among the longest that have been handed down so far. As I mentioned with one of Bingert's co-defendants, if he had just accepted a plea deal for assaulting officers, he probably could have cut this in half. So this is the problem. You go to a trial, whether it be in front of the judge or with a jury, you are now leaving it in their hands rather than being able to negotiate it. And you're getting hit with potentially all of the charges, as this guy did. So yeah, long sentence, a little heavy-handed compared to the others, but he did assault officers. So It is what it is. Anyway, I will let you all know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please become a donor if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care and talk with you soon.